Alright, so it's what, day 7, I want to say?
That sounds right.
Day 7.
I'm bad at math.
Yeah.
But that sounds right.
So, um, just how's the physical stuff? Just like arm or no arm?
A-okay. Yeah, no.
And I know,
No traces or anything.
your right one has the...
Yeah, well, that's messed up. That has nothing to do with the vaccine.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
messed my elbow up. Carrying groceries, because that's the kind of thing that happens when you're old. You carry groceries.
Ow, you're not that old.
You carry groceries around. Well, I'm old enough that I have to be careful how I carry groceries.
I see.
Apparently. But, no.
Weak bones!
No, as far as the vaccine, no. No side effects.
Nice, yeah.
No
And we were, like, kind of over there, right?
We were very close to,
On today,
very close to where we got the shot.
I had a doctor's appointment, and yeah. It was on the campus, right?
It was, yeah. The place that we saw your doctor is in. I mentioned this in one of our earlier sessions that most of the time when we take you over to the doctor there, it's in the nicer, the newer part of the hospital. Where I got the shot is like the sort of gully side of the house. It's the old hospital, you know.
Yeah,
But,
the old hospital.
But yeah, no. Today we were right across the street. I was interested in what your doctor said about adults and kids and the vaccine.
Yeah, that was... I don't know how I feel about that one.
Likewise. He just to recap, I was talking with your doctor about having gotten my vaccine, and he said that in their experience being the medical staff there, he's like, in their experience, kids just really don't get COVID, and so the main concern then, we were talking about this in the context of whether schools should or should not reopen, and he said, well, since kids don't get it, the main concern with schools is not that kids are going to get sick. The main concern is that kids will go to school and pick something up and come home and make their families sick. So the upshot of all that was that your doctor and I guess the medical staff there at the hospital was of the mind that once the adults in a given household have been vaccinated, then the coast is clear for those people. I mean, I'm not sure how I feel about that. Well, I'm of two minds, because my first thing is I'm not sure how I feel about that. But on the other hand, I'm like, does this make me one of those people who is like, I know he's a doctor, but I don't know.
Right, yeah.
So no, I'll have to process that a little bit. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I think it's one of those things where the risk is like so much worse other than the safe route. Like, I mean, like, especially since it's like a summer, or like a vaccine, honestly a period, I will be over just the summer, and so like,
Sure.
and so I feel like it's best to wait all that out and not just be like.
Let me ask you this. Let me make it personal.
Oh boy.
The way that Chicago has its vaccine schedule set up, you'll be able to get your vaccine just a few days after your birthday. Or actually, no. The vaccine for when they start the vaccinations for the relevant age group, your birthday will be 3 days later. So you'll be eligible for it. So that will make 3 out of 4 family members vaccinated.
Yeah.
Your brother is a couple years younger than you are, so he'll be a little later, I guess.
Oh, does Mom? Is she going to get the vaccine? Or?
Yeah.
When?
I don't know. Whenever her age group becomes, because
I see.
Bear in mind,
Right.
Bear in
Yes.
mind, the only reason I was able to get mine, I don't qualify from an age or
Old man.
or existing condition standpoint. They haven't gotten down to my age yet.
The high blood pressure, man. You get.
If I wanted to, I could, but no. But bear in mind, the only reason I got my vaccine is because I was drawn in a blind lottery.
Right. Yeah.
So Mom is going to have to wait like a civilian. She's going to have to wait for her time. But no. So the question I was coming out to was, how would you feel if like three out of four of us are vaccinated, because I don't know when they're going to get down to your brother's age group.
Yeah.
Would you be comfortable with with all of us going around with 3 of us vaccinated?
It feels like a time bomb, man. It's just like I know that of the pandemic and like the lockdown, like it's had all these bad effects on just like our mental health. But still, I think I was worth the wait. I'd just be totally sure.
Yeah.
Because like, I mean, if we do it obviously sooner, I mean, there's always I'm going to be the nagging thing of like, you still don't have the vaccine.
Yeah, and it's like we've waited so long already.
Right.
So, we're in the home stretch, so it seems I don't know. It seems like to come 90% of the way there and then to cut corners on the last 10%.
Right.
Like, probably nothing will happen, but I can't imagine what we'd do if something did happen.
Yeah.
I'd feel
For sure.
I'd feel like a big idiot. It's unfortunate there's many unfortunate aspects about the COVID having become so politicized, but one of the things is that whatever decisions you make, whether to stay in or go out or get the vaccine, whatever, is that you're not only contending with your comfort level and what you want to do, but you're thinking about, okay, what kind of person does this make me in the eyes of society?
Exactly, man.
Like, even if I'm comfortable going around, it's like, do I want to be one of these people who's just walking around? Because I see those people, and I'm like, what are you doing?
It's just a guy.
I look askance at them,
It's just a guy out there, man. It's messed up. It's just a guy. Just a guy walking around. What's that guy doing out there? Who's that guy? Who's that guy think he is?
So it's not only a question of, what do I want to do? It's what do I want to seem like I am doing?
Right.
As other people. So, like so much in life, you have to worry about other people's acceptance. But, oh well.
Yeah, exactly. And like the food court there, on the medical place, it's like
food court's outstanding.
Yeah. Yeah. The food is great. Although the environment is like it's like slightly out of this plane. It feels like it's just a tad off from the actual world.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's they only really get 2 kinds of people. They get people who either work there and are fine, or are at the hospital because they're sick, or they're with somebody who's sick, or somebody who
I'm sick.
Or somebody who has they're there for like a medical concern.
I'm sick.
So just
yeah, bruh.
Please excuse yourself. You're very sick.
Hey, it's like, no, you have a disease. You are genuinely just going to die.
Yeah, but no, it's a place of extremes because there's that, and then there's also it's other people who work at the hospital and they're very blasé about it, or there's people like us who are like, wow, this is great.
Wow, wow, this food is fantastic.
People, it's people who are excited to be there and people who simply could not care less. There's not much in between.
Right, yeah. It's
the food is outstanding.
And it's an interesting thing because they give the illusion of just like a choice.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's the same 5 out of just stations or so. I'll look at them. These names like, oh, it's the Grill, or oh, it's a Cafe Central.
Right,
and it's like
it's all the same kitchen.
It's like that's not a real place. That's not a thing.
I get
it's
the
like
I get the impression.
Oh, and it's like here's the specials, and it's like there are 6 menu items.
I get the impression though, just from having listened to people and sort of paying attention while we've been in there, that that if you work there and go there regularly, it seems like people kind of sort of put stuff together. Like I saw one lady, she got some grilled chicken from the grill area where we were, and then she went down the line a little bit and got some rice in the place and kind of like mixed it together. So
I see.
So I think if if you get familiar with the place, you can probably put some interesting things together. You know,
Yeah, for sure.
It's really good food. Like I said, I have a theory. This is probably not reality. But
oh boy.
The illusionary theory that I have is that because there's so many doctors and stuff, it's all these sort of exacting, demanding, and frankly well-paid people.
Yeah.
So I think maybe the food there is, a cut above what you might get at a
at
a food court at the courthouse or something.
And
the jail.
The jail. And for context, just the fries there, are super good. Yes. They're like just like a battered, I think.
They are. They're like the battered joints. Yeah.
So yeah, they're very good.
We used to, there used to be a restaurant right down on the corner.
Right. Yeah.
That had
Wingers, right?
Wingers that had that kind of fries, and they got taken over by
man, God bless the university.
The unfortunately named I Can't Believe It's Not Meat. Or no, actually, I guess they got taken over by the Soul Shack.
Oh yeah, the overpriced soul food place.
The Soul Shack it's like vegan soul food, I think.
I think it's actual.
Or not
actually soul food.
Well, yes and no. It's soul food, but I think they don't use any pork.
Right.
Which is that's kind of iffy.
And it's super expensive though, and it's what I think it's like $12 for 4 wings or something.
When I looked, it was $13 or $14 for 4 wings and some rice or something. Most places that's $5, something like that. I don't know.
Is it made of gold?
It's the price you pay for a cleaner conscience, I guess.
I would just feel just ripped off, man.
I would too, but that place does business hand over fist. I always see it; they're always packed. So I don't know. People must like them.
And it could be like the Raging Cajun thing, like the Muslims in the neighborhood,
that could be. But I'll tell you what, though, I don't know if the two things are connected. But as soon as Chicago relaxed its standards just slightly on sidewalk dining during the pandemic, that place, the sidewalk was just teeming with people. It was teeming with people. It's definitely the kind of place where I think people are, I don't want to say flexing exactly, but kind of showing off how little they were concerned about the pandemic. It was one of those kind of places. I got kind of a bad vibe from it, and it seemed kind of desperate to me.
And so this makes then 2 places, right? Where it's the porkless, I'll just go soul food because of Raging Cajun.
Raging Cajun.
I'll just explain to folks.
Oh sure. There's an Indian restaurant in our neighborhood called Raging Cajun, which actually I thought it was Ragin as a phoneticization of raging, like Ragin, but it's actually Rajan, which is an Indian word, I guess. Which means something. See. But anyway, they have an interesting combination of Indian food
and it's the vegetarian stuff, right?
And soul food, like fried chicken, biscuits, cobbler, things like that. They don't use pork, and being an Indian restaurant, they don't use beef.
Yeah.
So it's not vegetarian, but if you get something vegetarian from there, if you get something meatless from there, it's truly vegetarian.
Yeah.
It may not be vegan because I think they use ghee, which is clarified butter.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't think it's vegan, but it is truly vegetarian, or it can be.
Yeah.
And also, we got a place called the Soul Shack, which came in, and they sell regular vegetarian food and also soul food. They don't avoid beef, but they do avoid pork.
Yeah.
And then they have a sister restaurant right next door, run by the same crew. That's called that again has the worst name. I can't believe it's not.
Oh,
meat.
That's a sister store.
I can't believe it's not meat.
It makes so much sense now.
And that, as you might expect,
it's all vegetarian, baby.
All vegetarian. I've not eaten at either of the places.
Thank God.
The prices of both of them hurt my feelings. I'm abstractly interested, but
it's it's not worth it. Since we have, I'll just get Wingstop on the corner, too. It's like, I don't need to go to the soul food place.
On the one hand, I feel like I should try it because I hate having places in my neighborhood so close to me that when people ask me, oh, how's that place? I don't really have an answer.
Right.
I like to be literate in the places near me. However, I have such a big chip on my shoulder regarding those places. Even if I were to go there one time just to try them, I'd probably sit there like,
well, it's not that good.
I would go in there expecting it to not be good, and I would probably find some reason to dislike. So it'd be tough to get a clean read on it. So maybe go there someday. Why don't you go eat there and tell me how it is?
I am a child.
Do you have any interest in places like that, like with the restaurants that have a code?
I think that's the kind of thing I would usually only try. I'll just go once.
Yeah.
I mean, unless it's like super good.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, maybe we'll, we should probably go there and get like something that we've had a real version of. Like go there and get their wings.
Yeah.
Because we've had wings from other places, so we have a basis for evaluating them. Or like I think they have ribs there. I think they might have ribs there.
Ooh, ribs.
Ribs. So try it. We'll do it at some point, just so we can say.
Hey.
So you can say I tried it and it was lousy.
It sucked and I hated it.
Oh man, it was. There's this an institution in Chicago. It's called Soul Vegetarian, which is I think are they connected to the Black Israelites? I'm not sure, but they've been in Chicago for a long time. Vegetarian and vegan restaurant. Use lots of like meat substitutes and things like that. And they had they used to sell food at Treasure Island, which is where I tried it, and I tried some vegetarian ribs.
Yeah.
And it was rugged.
Yeah, it sounds quite rugged.
It tasted like one of those bouncy castles that had like spicy ketchup on it.
Oh man, a ketchup?
It was gnarly.
Dude, that sounds gnarly.
But I think they're a holdover from a time when there were many fewer options for vegetarians.
Right.
So
yeah.
I think every vegetarian has these stories about how even as recently as a few years ago, you had very few options, and so places would didn't try very hard.
Right. Yeah.
Holdover from that point, but well.
That's how it is.
Indeed.
All right, and on the vegetarian soul note,
vegetarian.
I think it's time to just sign off.
Sounds like.
All right, farewell,
Good evening,
folks.
Internet.